All right, guys. So I know this looks a little weird. I'm not at my desk. I'm actually on vacation visiting some family. But I just want to say thank you. We have hit 2,000 subscribers, so I will be giving away that Jamal Adams poster. The winner of that is going to be Cooper Charzewski. I think you've commented on every single one of my videos, so thank you for your patronage. Thank you for uh, watching everything, commenting, interacting. So hit me up on Twitter or Instagram and let me know, your address so I can send that to you. Okay, so no fun editing for this one, unfortunately. I'm not going to sit and do this on a laptop while I'm trying to hang out with people. But I wanted to talk about three guys real quick. Justin Houston, Josh Rosen, and Landon Collins. So Justin Houston, there's rumors that he's going to be released. There's actually reports out that he was released. That's not true. At least I'm pretty sure it's not true right now. So they're trying to trade him. There's people that are talking and saying, oh, he's a $21 million cap hit. It's ridiculous. Don't do that. He's going to be 30 years old this season. He'll be 31 years old in the last year of his contract. He's got 2 years remaining. The reason why it's not a $21 million cap hit is because when a team trades a player from one team to another, the team that originally traded him eats the salary or eats the signing bonus. So Justin Houston's cap hits are only going to be $15.2 million and $17 million the next 2 years, and he could be cut after this year and save $17 million. So really, it's just a one-year deal. The reason I bring this up, and people are going to say, hey, you can get him in free agency if he's released, is because Brandon Graham, who's 31 years old this season and was averaging less sacks than Houston, just got a 3-year, $40 million deal from the Eagles. So, and it's also thought that he probably took a little bit of a hometown discount. So I think if Houston were to hit the market, being that he has more production, and a lot of people actually believe he's the catalyst on that defense, not Dee Ford. And I mean, I know the age isn't great, but as far as a short-term fill-in, if they're looking to trade him and you can give up a 6th or 7th round pick for him, I mean, I'm fine with it. I think the fact that you don't have to give him more guaranteed money is absolutely huge. So if you think, even if you would have had to sign him for about $14 or $15 million, you lock in a really good player who's averaged over 9 sacks the last 2 years and could definitely, cause more havoc, especially with Leonard Williams on the line. I think that is an interesting option that the Jets should look at. Just because there's players that are a little bit older doesn't mean we shouldn't sign them. I mean, we're not committed long term. I think we should still bring in another pass rusher outside of Houston. But it's an option that I think we should look at least consider in the very least. All right, Josh Rosen. So how does this really affect us? With the Cardinals talking about Kyler Murray going number 1 overall, they obviously look to move on from Josh Rosen. I made that trade down video, and I brought up Washington, and I think that's a really good landing spot for Rosen given the financial restraints that Washington has right now. So I don't know if they'd have to give up their 15th overall pick or what they'd have to do to get Rosen, but I think Washington makes a lot of sense for him, especially since Alex Smith is locked in for the next 2 years. I think you have to bring someone in. You can't just go in lame duck the season, especially with Gruden there. I don't know. I think they could look to bring in Rosen. Other landing spots potentially. I think the Jags are rumored to be the front runners for Nick Foles, so I wouldn't put them in that category. I don't know. I would say I think Rosen to the Redskins makes the most sense. They have a pretty good offensive line too, so I think that he could do well there. Arizona, I think, had the 32nd offensive line ranked in the NFL last year, so obviously he's not a very mobile quarterback. So if you can have a little bit more of a line in front of him and protect him and give him some time to throw the ball, maybe he shines a little bit more than he didn't in Arizona. All right, and Landon Collins. So the Giants are confusing me, to say the least. I really like Landon Collins a lot. I think they should have franchise tagged him. They're not franchise tagging him, though. They're going to let him hit free agency. And the reason why I think this is weird is because they could have cut Eli Manning and saved $16 million, or at the very least restructured him and brought his cap hit down a little bit. I don't understand Gettleman. He did this kind of with Josh Norman. Norman in Washington or in Carolina, sorry, was tagged, and then they couldn't work out a negotiation for what his contract was going to be. And he wound up releasing him from that franchise tag. So Gettleman doesn't like paying secondary players, and I find that very weird because there's a really, really good chance that Landon Collins is probably going to go to the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys were rumored to have interest in Earl Thomas back in the beginning of the season, trying to trade for him, and that couldn't get worked out. But Collins, he is real young. He is a leader. With Sean Lee being a little bit older, I know he wants to stay with Dallas a little bit longer, but he's contemplating retirement. I think Landon Collins would be an awesome leader to bring into that locker room, especially when you have that little extra juice. He's going to have to go against the Giants the next 2 years if he goes to Dallas. I think that could absolutely be an awesome move for them. The franchise tag, if the Giants were to have put it on Collins, would have been $11.5 million. So they had the cap space if they were to move on from Eli Manning. I think having Eli there, especially last year and into this year, is just hamstringing the Giants so much that they're not really utilizing everything that they could be. They probably should have drafted Sam Darnold last year. I mean, Barkley's a beast, so I'm sure Giant fans are happy with him. But that whole Eli contract is real weird. It's real sticky, and I don't know if I necessarily trust what the Giants are doing. Gettleman is pretty good in the draft. He does have a pretty good track record. So I think, maybe they're looking to go that route. Why pay a secondary player, when the game is so offensive? I don't know. I can't really justify it. I don't like the move personally. Like I said, guys, thank you so much for getting up to 2,000 subscribers. Lots of fun. I've had a lot of fun doing this channel so far. So if any news breaks while I'm down in Florida for the next, 3 days, I'll put up something like this. As always, guys, go Jets.